Hello everyone, I am Rafiq Ahmed. Today I am going to take the topic that is NCERT Chapter 1 Relations and Functions. In that relations and functions, I'll be taking types of relations. See, the purpose of this video is to make the subject simple and easy. Now, to learn the first topic that is types of relations, first of all, let me just ask what is the relation? Because this you have already learned in class 11 what is the relation. So let us have a brief explanation about relation. So to do that, let me take two sets. Now the first set is A 1 2 3 and B A comma B. Now let us try to find the Cartesian product of these two sets. You know hopefully that what is Cartesian product? It means the set of all ordered pairs where first element are taken from first set and second element are from second set. What it is, let us try to see. So A cross B, 1 I can associate with A. So 1 comma A, this is my first order pair, comma 1 comma B. Similarly, 2 comma A, 2 comma B. Three comma A and 3 comma B. So this is what the Cartesian product A cross B. Now why have we found this? Because let me consider this set R. I took very simple 1 comma A. What do you understand from R? We can say that R is a subset of A cross B. R is a subset of A cross B. Therefore, R is a relation from A to B. So, R is a relation from A to B. So now let me tell you the definition of relation. The definition of relation is a relation from set A to set B is a subset of Cartesian product A cross B. So see here, R is a subset, it's a part of A cross B, therefore R is a relation. Similarly, you can take another subsets also. I can take R2, which is 1 comma A, so let us say 2 comma A, R2, it is also a part of A cross B, therefore R2 is a relation. One more example, R3, let us say 3 comma A and 3 comma B. So R3 is also a relation. So now this is all is from relation from A to B. Now let us say that we don't want the second set and we are looking the relation in the set A only. So now consider A See, actually, there is no need to write 2 times, but I am writing so that it should be clear to you. There should not be any confusion regarding that. So now let us try to find A cross A, the Cartesian product, which is equal to 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, so that is 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So we have associated all the elements of A to A. That means we found A cross A. Now let us consider one subset. Let me take 1, 1 and 3, 2. So what is this? Again, R is a subset of A cross A. So when R is a subset of A cross A, I can conclude that R is a relation in the set A. In some of the guides, they are using relation on set A. Anyhow, you can use anything. So this is a relation in the set A. We'll go according to NCERT. So now what is the important thing? What is the relation in a set A? I'll just write, just listen. So a relation in a set A is a subset of A cross A. Say you take any subset. First of all, you have to find A cross A, the Cartesian product, and then you take any subset, then it will result a relation. See, some of them can ask, sir, empty set. Yes, empty set is also a subset of A cross A. So empty set is a relation. The set A cross B is A cross A is also a subset of A cross A. So that can also be considered as a relation. So this you have learned a relation. Now let us talk about the types of relations. So types of relations, actually we will take the subset of A cross B and then we will check the some properties based on this types of relations. Based on these subsets. So there are three most important relations that we have to look. The first one is reflexive relation. Second one is symmetric relation. Third one is transitive relation. So I'll explain one by one. Let me start with reflexive relation. So what is the reflexive relation? So let me just first write the definition, then I'll explain you in a simple manner. So a relation R in a set A is said to be reflexive if for every A belongs to A implies A comma A belongs to R. This is the definition. Now with this, what you have learned, I'll try to explain in simple manner. See, a relation R in a set A. With this, what you understood? We have to take R, which is a subset of A cross A. So we should first perform A cross A and look at that we are taking the subset of A cross A. After that, is said to be reflexive if for every A belongs to A. That means every element in A we have to look, and then A comma A we have to look at in the relation R. For example, to explain it better, I'll take the same example. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. This set A I have considered. Now, first of all, in background, what is happening? If I want to consider as a relation, I have to perform A cross A, which just now I have done, which is 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, then 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3. So once again I have done that. So we have performed A cross A because I want to take the subset from this set only. So now let us say I have taken R, that is my first subset, let us say R, which I have taken 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, let us say this thing. So what is this one? This set, you see, 1 is an element of A and I have 1 comma 1. 1 is an element of A and I should have 1 comma 1 in R. So I have 1 comma 1 in R. 2 is an element of A. That means I must have 2 comma 2 in my relation. So I have 2 comma 2. That is what. 3 is an element of A. So I must have 3 comma 3. So I have taken 3 comma 3. So that means R is a subset of A cross A and also satisfying this condition. This means this subset, this relation, I call it reflexive relation. So R is what? Is a subset of A cross A. I call R is reflexive. Not only that, let us say I have taken the another example, R2, I have 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 and 1 comma 2. This is also a subset of A cross A and it is also satisfying all these things, all the conditions. That is, this is our set A, this is our set A, 1, 2, 3, 1 comma 1 is there, 2 comma 2 is there, 3 comma 3 is there. So that is what R2 is also, R2 is reflexive. So what do you conclude from this? The conclusion is that, let me just write, suppose there is a set A which is I have taken 1, 2, 3. For reflexive relation, I'll just focus on the set A. In short, when you want to do the problems, I'll focus on A, and in my relation, definitely I must have all this order pairs 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3. This is required according to the definition. What was the definition? Then you can add other elements also. The definition is for every A belongs to A implies A comma A belongs to R. So that is very, very important. For every A means all the elements in A, I must have the order pair in our relation. Hope that reflexive is, you have understood it. Now let me go to the next, symmetric relation. Again, let me consider the same set A, which is, let me just first define what is symmetric relation. So, now can you think what you can say? That is, a relation in a set A, a relation in a set A is said to be symmetric if A comma B belongs to R implies B comma A belongs to R. This is the definition. Again, what you have understood, let us learn through with the example. Again, I am considering same set A, 1, 2, 3. You have to perform obviously A cross A, which has 1 comma 1. So anyhow, you know that A cross A already we have done. Now let us take R is a relation which is I am taking 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1. Now is it symmetric or not? For symmetric, we will not look at the set A, we will look at the relation. We'll directly focus on the relation. See, what is the definition is saying? A relation in a set A is said to be symmetric if A comma B, for every A comma B belongs to R, I must also have B comma A in the same relation. That means I'll check this 1 comma 2 and I'll interchange the elements. 1 comma 2, I'll change it as 2 comma 1. Is it present? Yes, 2 comma 1 is present. Not only that, you can see 2 comma 1. If you interchange it, it will become 1 and 2, 1 comma 2. Both are there. So hence I can conclude R is what? Symmetric relation. Why? Because for every A comma B, I have B comma A. So R is symmetric. Now let us consider one relation, R, which is 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 1. R2. Can I say it is a symmetric relation? No. Why? Because see, 1 comma 2 is there in R, but 2 comma 1 is not there in R. It does not belong to R. Therefore, R2 is not symmetric. The simple way to test whether the relation is symmetric or not, just take every order pair and try to interchange and see the answer is there in the set or not. If one of the order pair is failing, means it is not a symmetric relation. So likewise, I have checked 1 comma 2, then I have interchanged it, it is 2 comma 1, it does not belong to R. Therefore, it is not a symmetric relation. Now the next one, let me explain transitive relation. Again, let me write the definition. A relation in a set A is said to be transitive. Please try to focus on the condition now. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, implies A comma C should be there in R. So what is the condition? That is, if A comma B is there in R and B comma C should also be there in R. If these two order pairs are there, then I have to look for our result, which is A comma C, which is something like, you see, I am checking the second element of first order pair. Again I am checking, is there any order pair which is starting with our second element. Then I will try to see that the first and the last element is present in our relation or not. So to understand this, it is very important. Now sometimes, let me just first take example, then I will explain. Again, let me consider A, which is 1, 2, 3. Let me take A cross A one more time. Now let us say I have taken a relation R. Now what you can say about this R? See, let us examine whether it is what you can say transitive relation or not. It is little bit, try to understand it, you have to focus it here. See, 1 comma 2 is the first order pair, 1 comma 2, and the second order pair is 2 comma 1. So this is the element second 2, like I'll just write here 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1 are there in R. Correct? 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1. You see the second element is again related with some more element. That means it implies I'm also having 1 comma 1 which is there in R. So it is satisfying our condition, that is, if I cancel this 2 like 2, let us assume that you are cancelling, then it is 1 comma 1 is also there in R. So this is one thing which I have checked. In the similar manner, let us say I am checking not only these two, let us say I am taking 2 comma 1 which is the second one, and 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 1. See the second order pair, second element, and this one, see, these are there in our set, they belongs to our R. Now I have to check whether 2 comma 1 is there in R or not. Yes, so this implies 2 comma 1, it is there in R. Let me check one more thing, 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 2, this is there in R, implies this belongs to R. This implies, do I have 1 comma 2? Yes, 1 comma 2 is also there in R. So if you check all this, what you can conclude is our relation R, which is R, which I have defined 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 and 1 comma 1, is what is transitive relation. Is a transitive relation. Sometimes what will happen is they may not give you the second thing which I am now explaining. Let us say they have taken, I'll just erase this. Let us say they have given you A comma B, but B comma C does not belong to R. This is not given to you. In that situation also, we can consider the relation as transitive. Why? Because this second order pair is not given. So I don't have to check whether A comma C is there or not. So it is not going against the definition. For example, again, let us take R is 1 comma 2. Can I say this is a transitive relation? Yes, it is transitive. Why? Because see, 1 comma 2 is there in R, but 2 comma 1 does not belongs to R. 2 comma any element, let us say I am just writing 2 comma something, does not belongs to R. That means the second order pair, this is the second element, the second element of our order pair, and here this is not provided to us. So when it is not provided, it is not going against our definition also. So therefore, it is trivially understood, or it is trivially taken that R is what? R is transitive. R is transitive. So here, that is what R is transitive. Now, suppose, now the next thing, what is a relation, equivalence relation? Next, equivalence relation. Important thing. So what is equivalence relation? A relation R in a set A is said to be a relation R in a set A is said to be equivalence if that is R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. If that relation R, that is a subset of A cross A, if it is satisfying all three conditions, that is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then we can call that as our equivalence relation. This is one of the most important topic which in our NCERT they are asking this. Now let me solve two problems. One is with direct, another one when there are infinite set. I'll try to explain, it is very important. So let me take our NCERT question number 1. See, I'll just read this. Determine whether each of the following relations are reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. In short, they are asking whether the relation is an equivalence relation or not. So they have given you the set A. The first problem in NCERT, set A is given to you, that is 1, 2, 3 and so on, 13, 14, and the relation is defined as, this is the first problem, relation R is defined as x comma y such that 3x minus y equal to 0. So now let me explain what is happening. So see, here the set A is given 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. It is finite. Therefore, there is a possibility that I can list the elements directly. Otherwise, if it is infinite, we have to adopt another method. So what is the relation is given? A relation in this set A. So first of all, please see that this generally we are not doing when we are solving the problem. But for you to understand, I'll just try to do this. This is the background of your problem. So what are we supposed to do first? We are going to do A cross A. Why? Why are we supposed to do this? Because R is a part of this. So let me just check 1, 2, 3, so on, 13, 14, cross with 1, 2, 3, and so on, 13, 14. So what are the elements in A cross A? It will be 1, 1, 1, 2, and so on, 1, 14, 2, 1, 2, 2, and so on, 2, 14. Similarly, I can have 14, 1, 14, 2, and so on, 14, 14. Together, all together, there are 196 elements in A cross A. Out of this 196 elements, our R will be taken some elements, some of them we'll try to see. Now, how do you select that? See, R is given what? 3x minus, I should collect all the order pairs x comma y. I should collect all the order pairs x comma y such that 3x minus y must be equal to 0. So if you take much more thing, I can take here, that is 3x minus y equal to 0 and y is equal to 3x. Y is what? 3 times of x, if I check that. So here y is depending on x is independent. So I can select the first order pairs x. Now let me select suppose if I have taken in the R 1, what should be the value of y? Since y is 3x, so y is equal to 3 times 1, which is 3. So I'll get 1, 3. Next, let us select x is what? 2. Then what can I get? Y value. Again, y is what? 3 into 2, which is 6. Similarly, I'll select x is equal to 3. Y I will get 3, 9. Because 3 into 3. X is 4. Then y is 3 times 4, 12. Now let us look at when x is taken to be 5. If I take x is equal to 5, y is equal to 3 times 5, which is 15, which is not there in the set A. So I cannot select 5, 15. It is outside the set. So what is my set? This is the R. which you got the relation. You see, this is a subset of A cross A or not? This is your background. Actually, this generally we don't do in exam. We can directly list here like this. So this is a subset of this. So this relation now I have to check whether it is equivalence. Like all three I will try to check. First thing, again, let me write the set A which we have 1, 2, 3 and so on till 13 and 14. See, what was the definition of reflexive which we have learned? The reflexive is for every A comma A should be there in R. So I can take, let us say, 1 belongs to A, but 1 comma 1 does not belongs to R. You see, 1 comma 1 is there here? No. Therefore, I can say R is not reflexive. It is enough if you find one order pair which is not there in R. One example is enough to contradict this statement. Second thing, for checking symmetric, this is for reflexive I have selected, for reflexive. Let us say I am checking now symmetric. So for symmetric, I already told you have to go to the relation R. So I'll take 1 comma 3 belongs to R. Do I have, if I interchange it, it implies 3 comma 1 does not belongs to R. So therefore, you can see 3 comma 1 is there in R or not? No. Therefore, what you can say, R is not symmetric. R is not symmetric. Now, regarding the third one, transitivity or transitive. So let us check that. I'll select 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 1, 3 comma 9. See, I have 1 comma 3 here and 3 comma 9. Both are there in relation. Both are present in our R. But you can see when you cancel this, to make it as transitive, 1 comma 9 should also be there in R. But you see that this implies 1 comma 9 does not belong to R. So R is not transitive. Hence R is not reflexive. Equivalence. If they are saying equivalence, it is enough to prove one of them is not there. That's why they have given in the question all three to identify whether it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive or not. So hence I think you have understood this. Let me take up one more example which is an abstract. Then you can try to solve all the questions related to our symmetric relation. Types of relations. What is the second problem? It is an abstract problem. Let me just take up our NCERT book. I am taking that example. Just let me write, then I'll explain to you what it is happening, how to solve it. This is example 5. See, show that the relation R in a set Z, which is integers, set of integers given by A comma B such that 2 divides A minus B. Set of integers. Let me just quickly explain. Set of integers, first of all, you have to do Z cross Z. You know that 0, 1, 2 and so on, negative 1, negative 2. Again cross product with 0, 1, 2 and so on, negative 1, negative 2. So to do this cross product, it is a really tedious job. We cannot find all the elements. So hence I cannot list these elements directly. Therefore, to prove these elements, how I can say that this is an equivalence relation or whatever it is. Show that the relation given by A minus B is is an equivalence relation. I have to prove it is an equivalence relation. Equivalence relation. Now let me start. How do I start this? So let us look at the relation first. I have R, which is given as R is equal to A comma B such that 2 divides A minus B. So first see here, I have to collect all the order pairs A comma B where 2 divides A minus B. So I have to check, like in the R, whether do I have for reflexive. If I check about reflexive, I have to check whether 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, like that all Z integers minus 1 comma 1 are there in R or not. So like let us say 1 comma 1, then minus 1 comma 1, minus 1, 0 comma 0, all these are there or not. I cannot go on checking all the infinite elements. How I'll start? I'll take A belongs to Z. And I'll go to the definition. Implies, you see, if I perform A minus A, what is happening? A minus A will give you answer 0. And you can see that 0 is divisible by 2. 0 is divisible by 2. By 2. According to the definition, if anything this is A minus B is divisible by 2, A comma B is there in R. So I have A minus A is equal to 0. Therefore, A comma A should belongs to Z. It belongs to R. And A is taken an arbitrary element of Z. That means for every A belongs to Z. Therefore, R is reflexive. How about R is now symmetric? Suppose now I'll take A comma B belongs to R. I have to start from R. This means, this implies A minus B is divisible by 2. So A minus B is divisible by 2. That means A minus B is equal to 2m. Divisible means 2 into some number. For example, if you have like say 10, you can write 2 into 5. You have 12, you can write 2 into 6. You have negative 6, you can write 2 into negative 3. So a number which is divisible by 2 will be a multiple of 2. So you can write 2 into something. That's why I have written A is divisible by 2 means A minus B is 2 times m. This implies if I take B minus A, it will be minus 2m, which is again I can write B minus A is equal to 2 into minus m, which is again a multiple of m. I can take B minus A is equal to 2 some q, let us say, where q is equal to minus m. Where q is equal to minus m. Therefore, B minus A is also a multiple of 2 or divisible by 2, is also divisible by 2. Therefore, R is reflexive. Therefore, R is symmetric. Now let us take the last, transitive. So suppose A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. These two, first of all, we have to take from the relation. It means A minus B is divisible by 2. Also B minus C is divisible by 2. Therefore, a minus b is equal to 2m, b minus c is equal to 2m, to let us say n. What is a minus c? I can add this a minus b plus b minus c, which is 2m plus 2m, which is again 2 if you take common, m plus n, which is again a multiple of or divisible by 2. So a minus c is equal to 2 into something. If I say k, where k is equal to m plus n, that means a minus c is a multiple of 2. Therefore, I can say that a minus c is also divisible by 2. So what you can conclude? Therefore, a minus c belongs to R, and hence R is transitive. So therefore, what you have finally, R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, hence R is equivalence relation. So thank you everyone. I hope you have understood how to solve. One is a direct problem, one is abstract problem. In future, I'll try to solve more problems, and I will try to upload the different videos for relations and functions.